Welcome back.
So before we did this, I ate like 3 salami and cheese sandwiches. So
Okay.
I'm either gonna be like pretty high up there, or I'm gonna fucking fall asleep. It's one or the other.
Alright, well,
I wanted to get that out.
whichever one it is, and I hope it adds to the experience. I hope it all just goes straight to your colon and we gotta,
Stop halfway through so I can take a fat dump.
yeah, we'll have a brief intermission. We'll have the shitstermission.
I'll bring the microphone with me.
Get some a close-up like photo, bring it on the screen of like your turd in the water. There'll be a third like bubble that pops up of like Peyton shit. It's like talking with the rest
It's
of
like
us.
a member.
The bender turd, the bender bowel.
It's just me really badly like imposing my edited voice into it.
It's like slightly higher pitched. So, one thing I was thinking of earlier today was how people on the internet, they obviously they enjoy watching people destroy themselves.
Yes.
That is just the thing about humanity. We love we love seeing accidents. People are rubbernecking to see the guy that was just turned into black goo.
Nico Kato has millions of fucking subscribers.
And that's exactly it. Nico Kato specifically. And I'm not to say this is going to be focused on him, but it made me think, of all the genres that exist, and maybe like genres for video games, how come there doesn't seem to exist any kind of like genre that capitalizes on that specific thing, like that impulse of wanting to see someone like ruin themselves? Where's like the mukbang style video game where like you go out of your way to ruin someone's life just out of like, for your own entertainment?
It's called The Sims.
I guess you could call it The Sims. But the problem with The Sims is that you're attached to the character, you made them. So like most people, like even if you're gonna just like kill them or like make them fat, it's like most people wouldn't particularly want to do that. It's like, what if you had a game where the whole purpose was just like someone that they really set up for like you to not like. You just have to ruin their life, and it's very emotional, very real.
The way I thought you were going, I thought you were talking about like a game where you like it's your character, and you're just trying to like fuck up their lives as much as possible. I didn't realize it was like you're like a disgruntled employee and like you're like going after your boss, like trying to like fuck his life up.
I mean, maybe that could be the case. It's just I figured if it was your own character, you'd feel sympathetic.
When I play Sims, I feel like a god.
That is true, but it would have to
Completely
be
disjointed, and just
like
doing whatever I want.
have to have this game where it's like the entire experience is wholly centered around ruining his life. I don't know what that would include, but it would have to be very like stupid features, like send muggers to like carjack him and then like beat the shit out of him.
Like GTA.
Yeah, like
Sending the guy, just a random NPC to go like fuck him up.
yeah, I paid $1,000 to Lamar to beat the shit out of my character.
You have a social media like mechanic, so you just post like a compromising picture of them and get them canceled.
Yeah, get him doxxed. He's got to live in like he has a paranoia debuff for the rest of the whole game.
Create false accusations so that way they get divorced with their wife and then kill themselves.
Yeah, like the whole game, it's just like a whole drama type simulation game. I think that would, it would be like a shitty like pixel art indie game because like no major studio would ever dare make something this blatantly like offensive. But I think people would like, I think like, YouTubers would play it. And that's all that matters.
It's PewDiePie. They're gonna play the Cancer Simulator.
Yeah, PewDiePie would play Cancel Simulator.
Whoa, someone just posted my cockpic on the internet. That's not gonna do too well.
That's not gonna be poggers, bro. It's just what I was thinking about. I wanted to come up with the idea of, every single like video game genre has been, done to death. There really hasn't been anything that's exactly broke new ground. That maybe outside of like something like super niche, like rhythm games or like anything in like the past decade. So I was thinking, how do you translate the success of modern entertainment to like the video game form. Like what's missing? What's the missing
Just
link?
take the absolute like worst aspect of humanity and put it into a video game.
Yeah, I think it could work. That's definitely the next get rich quick scheme. And then the DLC just like adds in more horrendous things. If you want to buy like the town murderer DLC.
I
Yeah,
almost. I don't think I can mention that. Never mind.
I know exactly what you're gonna go for, and I'll leave it at that. Because the thing was, I was gonna say that too, and I stopped myself and said murderer. I don't know if you caught that, but that's how that was going.
Was out of pocket mod.
Yeah, like, real ones will know what that one's all about.
Since we're on the topic of, like car accidents or just horrible things that you want to see people do, you'll get a kick out of. This was the story that I specifically told you I wasn't gonna tell you.
Okay.
Like earlier in the week, when I was at work, one of my coworkers comes in. I was already there for like 2 hours. My coworker comes in. She sits down in her spot next to me. And she's sitting there for a few minutes, maybe like 10 minutes or so. And eventually, she turns to me and she goes, "Peyton, can I put this in the microwave?" And she's holding her big metal thermos.
Oh my god.
That she brings with her to work every day. And I looked at her, and I can't even imagine the look on my face when she asked me that. Because this is like something you would come up with. She looks, I look back at her and I go, "Is it made of metal?" And she looks at me and goes, "Yes." I go, "No." It'll fucking blow up if you put it in the microwave.
She just like poker faced and said no. You can't put it in there.
She had the most shocked expression on her face when I told her that it would blow up in the microwave. This woman is in her 40s and she has 3 kids. I don't know how the fuck she got this far without knowing that you cannot put anything metal into a microwave.
And it's like double stupid too, because she obviously had some kind of an inclination that it was the wrong thing to do, because she stopped herself to ask you, and then when she gave her that revelation, it shook her foundation at the core.
After I told her no, she spent like 5 minutes telling me this personal anecdote that she has of like either like a friend or like a boss at some other job that she has or some shit putting a metal cup in the microwave. She's like, "Oh, there's like a tray in the middle and he puts it on there and it cooks." And I was just like, that's not a fucking microwave. Like that must be like like if it's something he's putting in, it's a toaster oven maybe, but like a microwave spins. Like there's no trays in a microwave.
It's like, oh yeah, I saw this famous guy on Facebook. It's like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap this dish in aluminum foil, put it in the microwave, a couple minutes.
Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, that would be a Gordon Ramsay moment. We're gonna let this
You're gonna put it on high for 10 minutes.
Oh, it's getting a little bright in there. Let's press our face up against the glass and get a good look inside.
You gotta watch it and make sure nothing goes wrong.
I've turned away for a moment, looked back, and they've been gone, so I gotta keep an eye on it. Oh! Oh! I did not know that was going to happen. Bloody hell.
Since you mentioned the whole, like, people want to see disasters like that, I messaged my other coworker. I texted her because she was in the other room because she wasn't feeling well or whatever. And when I told her, like, this coworker just asked me if she could put a metal cup in the fucking microwave, she texts me back and goes, You should have told her yes.
Exactly. The intrusive thoughts won. You could have told her yes, and then you could have destroyed like $150 worth of like company property of that microwave.
Could have very probably started a fire in the building.
Yeah, I mean, she probably would have put the fucking fire extinguisher in there too if she had the chance. Yeah, we're just drawn to putting metal in microwaves, just like a moth's like, drawn to a flame.
It's just been a joke between us for so long, and now it's leaching into real life. Like
I know.
every other fucking joke we make.
We really gotta be careful with that. The slightest thing, and none of our jokes should be like out of everything that like shouldn't turn real, our jokes are like some of the last things that should ever turn real.
Because they're so horrible.
Everything's always just some apocalyptic event where someone normal just takes the whole world down with them because their personality changes to be as juvenile as possible. Just self-destructive, suicidal thoughts. People crashing planes, keep people driving into school buses. The real peak of humor. But when you put it in real life, all of a sudden it becomes this, real dreary, sad thing for some reason.
I just want to know who the first public figure to turn into a cannibal is gonna be. Because at this rate, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, someone's gonna get caught doing it.
Someone is gonna eat another human being's raw brains, and they're going to die of poisoning.
And I think it'd be really funny if it was like a politician too. Like it had
to be a big one though.
Yeah, it would have to be someone high up, like Trump, Biden. Like that's like an easy pick. But I think it'd be funny if it was someone like a little lower on the rung. Like maybe if it was like Rand Paul or something. Like if Rand Paul got busted eating human brains and then dying once like the fatty like acids reached his fucking like chest. They just find him standing over like some 19-year-old woman who was like been missing for like 6 years now. He's just dead on the floor with like brains on his mouth. That'd be a great way to go.
Because Rand Paul like kind of used to be irrelevant, and has just completely fallen into obscurity. And like this is how he gets brought back into the forelight. Like
this was actually his attempt to like break back into the mainstream.
He grabs a brick, bashes a 19-year-old woman's head in, and then eats her raw brain matter and dies.
And it's like how do you even like react to that in like the political scene? You just like can you like make jokes about it? Like how long does it take? I mean, obviously we would. But like CNN, Fox News are gonna be like, like former presidential candidate, like whoever the hell he is. He's like a senator, right? I think.
Now he is, yeah. He did run for president multiple times. But...
It's just like I don't know like what they'd be calling him at that point. Just like rapacious idiot Rand Paul, found eating human brain matter, found dead in his Florida home. I don't know where he lives.
Dude, I did not think that they would mention that he ate someone's brains though. They'd say like it was like a murder-suicide. I don't think they would have let it get out that he was eating brains.
Well, okay. Well, there would have to be
at
some
least on
like
Fox News.
No.
Like, he's kind of respected there.
But there would be a couple lowball sites that would say like there was evidence of human brain matter in his stomach during the autopsy, and that would spread like wildfire. People would be like within the hour there'd be like memes blown up on Twitter. There'd be like the hashtag like zombie Rand everywhere, pictures of him like eating people.
It's been like an ongoing thing.
Yeah, and then of course you'd have the verified like real Rand Paul Twitter account that bought like $8 worth and just says like yummy yummy, like brains in my tummy. Doesn't get taken down. So yeah, the politicians worldwide, if all of the corruption and nepotism's getting you down, you can always spice things up with a little bit of cannibalism,
a little bit of murder,
maybe some self-immolation. I think that would be a... No, go ahead.
As I say, it specifically has to be raw brain matter that you eat. It's not funny otherwise.
Yeah, because like you have to immediately have your comeuppance from like dying from your action. Like the only way eating anything else would be funny would be like if someone caught you in the act, like you're a real deer in headlights holding someone's arm, like and you're chewing on it like a rotisserie chicken. But
Like a big corn on the cob, like you're just
yeah,
spinning it around.
yeah, it's like a cartoon, like eating the like a fucking mutton chop, like a lawnmower.
Like putting the whole thing in the mouth and pulling out with no meat on the bone.
Yeah, that'd be the only way. Other than that, you have to you have to, cleanly chop the skull, eat the brain, and then die right then and there. Or more likely, convulse briefly for like an hour and then
Feel
die.
extreme pain in your stomach for an hour as you convulse on the floor and make horrible death noises.
Making horrible death groans in your final moments. Just horribly unable to contact any life-saving medical help. You can't even like reach into your pocket to like text your loved ones and tell them help. Yeah, Rand Paul, he managed to shoot off one voice chat like to his like to his like dad or something. It's like oh.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ron Paul is still alive. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's still alive. Brain matter. Yeah, he's a little bit more resistant to brains than his son. He eats them in small doses.
It's building up an immunity. That's how he survived that stroke.
Yeah, I forgot he had a stroke. He was sneaking like little bits of brain like during that interview when the camera wasn't on him. He had like 1 teaspoon of brain and then like 2 Benadryls and it fucking knocked him out.
Old Paul family tradition.
And speaking of old fucks, didn't Biden turn 80 years old today?
Today?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I think he turned like 80 today, or if, at the time of this recording, which I think that makes him the oldest sitting president in U.S. history.
Wasn't he already? Like when he got elected?
Maybe, I think.
Old fuck.
But 80 is just fucking nuts.
I still can't believe he's running again. He used to like go home and just like rest for the however much time he has left.
Be with his loved ones.
Yeah. This man is way too old to be doing this. There's no way it's healthy for him.
Oh, he's gotta let some new young blood, some real young talent take over. We need a younger Biden.
we need Hunter Biden.
Yeah, we need Hunter Biden in the office. I think he'd do all right. Clean himself up a bit, go to rehab. Ignore the women of questionable age. I think he'd do an all right job. I think he'd get
women of questionable age. Ignore the crack pipes.
That's fine.
Ignore the numerous dick pics.
I mean, don't forget, because the crack pipes, that give it like a couple years, and that's not even gonna be a stigma anymore. People are, in big cities are handing out free crack pipes to like lower the amount of deaths from from unhealthy crack pipe use. That's like a real thing. You'll go up there, you'll smoke a fat one. You'll be all nice and clean. You'll just say,
walks on stage with the pipe hanging out of his mouth.
hand in his pockets. He has like a suit on, but he has sweatpants on. He comes out, he just doesn't have anything to say. He's just smoking and breathing out. He's completely zoned out in front of like the press pool. They're all taking pictures like Hunter Biden, Mr. Hunter Biden.
Eyes aren't even reacting to like the camera flashes. They don't react to light at all. They're completely dilated. Just sitting there moaning.
Like, men and like as the Secret Service comes over, and like whispers something in his ear, and he just nods his head. And he just keeps
falls
staring
backward.
His eyes roll back in his head. He falls backwards, head first. and like the Secret Service was there, but like they just didn't react quite in time.
He fell too quick.
Sack
Drops
of
like a
brick.
sack of rocks. Just
And that's just like his first public appearance somehow.
me to be one of the security guards. Takes out a bottle of Narcan, just sprays him in the nose. He just gets back up, and like that's when the interview starts.
Yeah, he's got to be clean before he starts answering questions.
Give him the Narcan. And he starts trying to fight the security guard for taking his high away.
He's holding the Secret Service guy by his throat, like shaking him like Bart Simpson. So, you know, politics can, you know, be funny. I think everyone just, you know, Democrats, Republicans either, you know, hold hand in hand, just, you know, really live and let live here. Just let the silly people take charge, because obviously, you know, it's been proven that, like, none of this shit matters at all. Like, the presidents are hardly even the ones that, like, even make many of the decisions anymore. Like, you know, just sit back, let the show play out, let Hunter Biden smoke his crack in the White House.
Just let the funniest person into office, but they can't be intentionally funny.
No.
Like, if they're trying, it's not good. You need the complete dipshits to get into office. The ones who will fuck things up constantly.
You know, just start getting, like, you know, influencers start running. We need, you know, like, you know, maybe someone...
PewDiePie in office.
Yeah, PewDiePie in office. It just all comes out, it's just like YouTubers. They're the only
What
ones
other
that...
influences are we gonna talk about?
Yeah, that actually, like matter.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't use TikTok, I don't use Twitter, so, like, you know, those entire areas, if they even have any, like, actual people of note, I wouldn't know them.
The day Tobuscus, like, goes into office.
Yeah,
Day the world
Tobuscus.
ends.
He runs on the Nugget and a Biscuit party ticket.
He gets 2 votes. Because nobody remembers who he is anymore.
He gets 2 votes, one from Nugget, other from Biscuit. I don't think the YouTubers are cut out for it. I think they're, you know, it's kind of like how, like, after 8 years, like, just how, like, awful Obama looked at the end of it. Like, imagine, like, Tobuscus, like, this guy's, like, what, he's, like, in his 30s or something, you know,
I
like...
don't even know what he looks like. I can't, like, picture him right now.
I think it'd be really funny, though, if he took some, like, a young YouTuber like that, and, you know, let's just imagine they got the 8 years, and, like, by year 8, the sheer stress, they come out looking like Obama at the end of it. They're just, you know, white hair, wrinkles, just, you look like a mess. You spent like 8 years like handling this horrible like brinksmanship situation with like North Korea, and you just came out looking like you know, you got out of a war zone. It's like Mr. Tobuscus, North Korea fired another ICBM for Japan.
I didn't even call him his, like, actual name.
I don't know his real name. And there's no reason to think the Secret Service would know either. It's like, you know, I've watched... It's like, I saw like a couple videos, but I don't know, Mr. President. It's like, I'm really not all too interested. Just imagine having to, like, get up in the middle of the night as, like, president, just, like, deal with some stupid shit, like, half a continent away.
Secret Service is shaking you awake as if, like...
Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr.
Like, you're a 4-year-old who, like, your parents are driving you to, like, a vacation spot. Early in the morning, just shaking you awake.
Come on, get up, it's time to go, it's time to go. And, you know, I could picture, you know, go back to 2016, it's like, Mr. Trump, like, you know, it's like, once again, it's like, North Korea fired a missile. He just, like, rolls over in bed.
I'll be up in a few minutes.
I hit the snooze button. So that stuff just, like, sucks. That's, the real power is just being in that position and not having to do a damn thing. Just let other people have to deal with it, and then...
Walk on stage, say a few words, and get paid, get a free house.
Yeah, just, you know, leave it to your betters, or, like, maybe your worsers, because obviously, like, none of these positions require anything more than just, like, underhanded motives. It's like, you know, if you're not, like, a cunning bastard, then, you know, like, what are you even doing at, like, that position of power? You're supposed be a high-level swindler. I'm not here for the good of the people. I need money.
I need to build a political career so I can coast off of it for the next 20 years. Write books and do public speaking events and get paid millions of dollars.
I want a legacy. I want a good Wikipedia page. I want 5 books, and I want every picture of me to be like me painting after like my retirement. Except I'm not gonna paint anything like I'm not gonna paint anything like clean and wholesome. It's gonna be like very raunchy, like adult women.
Just go into porn drawings immediately after presidency.
Yeah, start painting erotic like artwork. But the thing is,
Patreon.
yeah, make a Patreon. But the thing is, like, since you're just like so respected as a president, no one really wants to like call you out on it because like it's good art.
They're jerking off to it.
Yeah, like who like today in this in this world that's so filled with that kind of content, who could resist paying top dollar for pornographic content made by a president?
No one.
If you set up a Patreon, if you set up like something like that, he'd be making more money than he did when he was in the White House.
Yeah. You wouldn't even have to do any like build up for it. It's not like other artists who had to spend years building up to that to get that much money.
You got a
So
legacy.
immediately, like, you're the president, and you put that shit online.
Yeah, but just none of them know any better. You know, like George Bush, he's like he paints. I don't know if he's painting anymore, but you know, it's if he really wanted to, he could really close out the last, those wonder years of however long left he has left, and just write out the pornographic treatment.
I just put George Bush as just Master Chief. Just make me when you need me.
Yeah, he's just like encases in ice like every other president.
Yeah.
They have him
They wheel him out when they need him, and then they lock him away again.
like every president before like Jimmy Carter, like they're all still alive. They're all just frozen waiting until like a specific situation like requires their particular skill set.
Of
They'll bring him
coming
back out
and supporting something for like a few weeks.
Yeah, and since like people just don't really know shit about the presidents like anymore, just because people largely are just getting dumber. They could bust out like I don't even know. They could bust out like Gerald Ford or something.
I don't think anyone would give a fuck if Gerald Ford came out and spoke about something.
But I'm just thinking, there was some like
Wow, they got Reagan's vice president. Wow.
It's like, it's like geopolitical situations in the Middle East as feminist activists, rise to power. Gerald Ford recently had a statement promoting, these protests of liberty, and they just like name drop them. There's like all these like more contemporary figures to use. It'd be way funnier if they said like Gerald Ford came out condemning the feminists, saying that he sides with the he sides with the Shah of Iran. Yeah, maybe when he was alive. He doesn't know any better. They thawed him out of ice and they told him to like respond to like some situation in Iran. Like but they didn't bother to update him on like what happened to Iran. They bring out like Nixon to talk about the war in Ukraine, just like what the Soviet Union's done here today is just despicable. It's like, Mr. President, come. Oh, what the Russian Federation today. Those damn Soviets piss me off.
I'm so freaking mad right now.
I'm so flippin' mad. Put me back in my ice, boys. Oh.
It's like still awake.
So yeah, it's like the sound of him like getting encased in ice. But it's like they do it like from like the toes up, so like he freezes a little bit.
Feels it.
Yeah, it's the worst pain you ever felt, but it's only for a second. getting encased in ice is probably infinitely more painful than they ever make it out to be in a like cinema or cartoons or anything.
I'd like to imagine that they would actually sedate you first, but
No, they you know, time is money. You know, if it only
it's
takes
like
1 second to do it,
instantaneous flash freezing.
yeah, it only takes 1 second to do it, then, you know, fuck the sedation, you know, the Nixon can tough it out.
They never show proper defrosting though. I guess because that's the part that we still haven't figured out, so they can't
No.
show it. But
No, that's the part where all of your cells explode. They can't show that.
they always just show like the steam or the fog coming out of the thing, and then the person like dropping to their hands and knees and then like getting up.
Yeah, just, you know, maybe we'll
You know,
figure it out
show
one day.
all of your nerve endings like being on fire from being flash frozen.
Oh,
Ah!
you know, worth it, because yeah, now you're in the future, you're in pain, and like everyone you know and love's dead. Everything's changed, you don't belong.
It's
It's
going
wonderful.
to be impossible to readjust.
Yeah, but hey, at least we like cured your cancer.
Oh, thanks.
I know. That's why they froze Nixon.
Yeah.
He had like fatal pancreatic cancer. He was gonna go. Thank you. That cancer in my ass was gonna be the death of me. But you boys saved me. What became of America? Oh. What? I don't want to know.
They won't let him know. It's too much of a shock. They
It's
gotta
too
ease him into it.
It's too much of a shock. Well, we're gonna. Well, I don't know how to bring this. I don't know how to put this to you, Mr. President. Please, call me Tricky. Scratch that. Call me Dick.
Call me a little dick.
Call me a little Dicky, like the rapper. I don't know.
Remember that guy?
Remember that guy? I heard about him after I was after I was
Temporarily unfrozen.
for a couple bit.
It's the one thing he learned about.
Yeah,
Some
gosh.
comedian rapper from 2012.
Yeah, I heard his name. I thought it was funny, so I didn't even listen to his music. I think we need to bomb those Viet Cong again. Mr. President, we have to put you back in the ice.
What?
Oh,
Fuck.
fuck! I gotta run. And he's just like he thinks he's moving, but his nerves still haven't like woken back up yet. Damn.
Can't actually move.
Yes. I think if Richard Nixon came back to us, I think his first action would be to like perform Operation Linebacker Part 3 on Vietnam. Just out of like sheer spite, every single B-52 flies over every inch of airspace and just bombs them back to the Stone Age. Gets like nothing done, and like the United States is just completely vilified in the international community.
I fucking hate those guys.
It'd be like even more stupid today because I'm pretty sure our military now like works with them. Like we send people there for like training. They collaborate with us.
Kill 'em all.
Kill them all! These Bender hours sure do like delving into like attacking certain like ethnic groups. Or maybe nationalities is probably the better term here. Still, I mean, hey, it's it's not us. It was Nixon and like PewDiePie. That's definitely not slander. Ugh.
Yeah, it's just imagining those characters doing it.
Exactly. It's a parody. It's a parody. PewDiePie doesn't actually, sound like how we do him. He doesn't actually play games.
Because the PewDiePie voice we always do is like specifically early PewDiePie voice.
Yeah, like first episodes of PewDiePie when he's playing like Amnesia Dark Descent. Like that's
Everybody's PewDiePie.
that's
Look
all
at his
I.
fucking barrels, bro.
Yeah, Barrow Stefano. Like that's all I know of him. So that's what he's trapped in. So, I mean, I guess along a different vein, I suppose. This is kind of like a minor question, really. It's like, what do you think was like the cause of Big Tire removing all the sand from playgrounds and replacing them with chewed up like tire rubber?
Big Tire.
How else do you explain that phenomenon?
The sand like gets in your tongue and you go
Well,
like that.
Well, you know what?
Have you ever watched the cartoons?
I have seen the cartoons, but you know what? From what I remember, I found those little bits of like tire rubber in my shoes every day.
Single fucking day.
Every day. There's probably less sand. Like, there's probably less sand in my shoes from like a year of playing on the playground in elementary school than the sheer amount of like pound per rubber that I've dug out of my soles.
Yeah, they were always so weird too because they had those like pieces of rope.
Yeah, they those like those like stringy rope pieces. Like I don't know what that was taken from.
That material isn't real.
No, it's some fake like new rubber. It was like this
only exists for playgrounds.
Only exists for playgrounds, and it was just like it all just descended upon humanity in like 1 year's time, and we're just forced to accept it. You can get hurt on the sand. The kids are just eating it, so we need to replace it with something safer and a little bit more digestible.
Our teachers have been showing them footage of Haitians funneling dirt and sand in their mouths, so we gotta replace it.
Yeah, the Haitian exchange students making dirt cookies out of the sand pit in the playground. Like a CCTV footage caught like the janitor, taking a shit in the sandbox. He was like kicking it up like a cat, like burying it. Some kids were digging it up as like buried treasure, playing like hot potato.
Shitting in the sand.
I can't imagine it. Some decisions are just, they're so stupid. It has to be like the explanation has to be equally as stupid, like Big Tire being responsible.
Selling the rubber that just quite wasn't good enough for tires.
No, they got the C-list rubber. It wasn't even from like any real tires. It was like, they got pig iron. This was pig rubber. These were the tires that were manufactured somewhere in like some unpronounceable province of China, but all of like the work orders were wrong. And it turns out they just added like 100% more rope than necessary, so all of it just got sent here. And since like Toyota, whatever, just didn't know what to do with it, they sparked up a deal with TruMoo, who then sparked up a deal with the U.S. educational system, replaced all the sand with rubber. Because I think those are the two largest factors of the American education lobby, which is like the big TruMoo and Big Tire
and Big Egg.
Big Egg.
Yeah. Schools have those buckets of just egg whites. Like just straight up 5-gallon buckets of egg whites that they use to make the different like types of foods.
Oh yeah, Big Egg.
You cannot buy that anywhere else. Where are you gonna get a 5-gallon bucket of egg whites from?
No, if you want
they don't even have the yolks. Like the yolks are the best part of the egg, but no, let's just have the fucking egg white.
No, if you want any of those school drinks or food, you need to go underground. You need to know a guy who knows a guy, because that food is just like not.
Market.
Yeah, because that food, it's probably like I bet like if you got like the records from like the FDA or whatever, they would probably say like it's just barely fit for like human consumption. It's like rated like Z or whatever. Like you can eat it, but
they don't recommend it.
Yes, it's not recommended. Like you will die eventually. And that's not even like related to the food. That's just like a general statement. It's written on every TruMoo cart. You will die eventually.
It's a constant reminder of your own mortality.
That would have been a good lesson for the youngsters.
It's on every food package you can buy.
Just everything. If you got like a fruit packet, it's reminding you. They're coming out with new flavors like blood pudding, human blood, cow blood,
human liver,
pig blood. That's what's coming out of like the little half cartons. It's just pig blood.
Just straight up pig blood.
Yeah, and the school like has the audacity to hang up like a certificate of halal, like from like the chief like imam of the area who blessed it. It's just a complete farce. But maybe one day schools will sink that low.
I'll never understand why they can't just like give water at schools. You have to pay extra for water.
Yeah.
It's just the most backward shit. Like, here's free milk that nobody wants to drink.
I mean,
But
well,
the water's extra.
I mean, if you see the state of those water fountains, then I don't want their water.
But they have water bottles.
Oh, those are for
in
the
little fridge.
Yeah, that's for the ruling caste of the teachers. You know, us as the pitiful like untouchables at the bottom, they're forced to use the rock solid toilet paper that blisters your ass, and you gotta drink the TruMoo, which is like 90% filled with crustaceans and other inedible substances.
90% inorganic material.
Yeah, it's just like 100% of your daily like indigestible, inorganic fucking objects. You will not make it if you consume this like twice a day.
100% of your daily things that you shouldn't be consuming.
yeah, fuck the nutrition label. It just says that. It's like, learn more about other like objects you shouldn't be consuming at TruMoo.com /gov. And it's just like a gif of of Michelle Obama like pointing at the screen and laughing.
Obama.
Close one. Okay. Oh, I mean, yeah, schools are horrible. Their foods have not gotten any better. I don't know if they ever will in our lifetimes.
Probably not. I don't think there's gonna be schools.
But
later on in our lifetimes.
But
considering that they're getting to the point where you don't even have to pass basic English and math to finish school, how much longer do schools even actually have to exist?
I don't know until homeschooling is banned or something, and I would imagine not too long. But it's because obviously the job people want, the job the activists want. How do we improve the schools? How do we improve their meals? How do we catch up to places like Sweden and China? It's like, oh, do we ban homework? Do we do this? Do that? But I think it would be a funnier idea is how do we make them worse? Like if I was in charge, if I was like chief asshole in charge of the entire, I was chief like autocrat asshole, the entire of the chief of education. I had full, complete control over like everything that I could do. What's the worst thing I could do to obliterate this system, make it absolutely miserable for like students more so than it already is. And I'd say like maybe like starting hours is like 3 a.m. We're bumping it back. You don't get out until 2:59 a.m. So, you're practically sleeping in there, in that 1 minute that you're free, you better savor it. The second your eyes close, that bell's ringing again. And the thing is like there's like a huge teacher drive because like obviously the teachers, they get to go home and sleep. Like they're on shifts. So there's like so many more teachers that aren't qualified.
Shift teacher, night shift teacher.
Yeah, like that's what's going on. No, the food situation. This is because this is like the one bit of like respite you have left as a student. The one thing you're looking forward to. So how do you make it so that like lunchtime is the last thing you're looking forward to? Like
all tofu.
All tofu blocks. They're like
straight up, not flavored, no salt, no pepper, nothing, just tofu.
And even better, they're like packaged in they're like nutritional tofu bars that are like they claim they're water flavored.
Alright, you're just taking that from Half-Life Alyx.
Is that a thing?
Yes, the little food packets that you can find. You can't like open them or anything, but it'll say like daily ration, water flavored.
Okay, so we're just putting the Combine in charge of like U.S. educational system. You get the water flavored nutritional bars that they taste like shit, and it's just barely the amount of like nutrition you need to live.
And it has to be a very specific texture too, like just very unsettling.
Yeah, it's like it would be like airy chocolate that's on the verge of like turning. That would be the worst. Like it's like
crumbles to sand in your mouth.
yeah, and it's like just the slightest bit gooey, but it's like rancid. I would be fucking miserable. Your one drink is just it's a pint of God.
TruMoo. I don't think it's that much worse.
It's still TruMoo. It's expired strawberry TruMoo. So
I was honestly gonna say the unflavored, just normal TruMoo milk, the
maybe.
skim milk that they give.
It's just like the strawberry one, from what I recall, has had a history of like being expired, and it tasted like pure chemicals. So that would be like my most miserable drink. It's just every chemical in the book in a desperate attempt to mimic the taste of milk, but it just ends up tasting only like chemicals straight out of a fucking laboratory.
It's a water with powdered milk added to it.
Oh, yeah, that is sick. You know, you get your styrofoam plate, and all you're given is all you're given is a spoon, not even a spork or anything else.
All you're given is your bare hands.
You're given your bare hands. You're given chopsticks, and they just they go right through the energy bar. Because how it would have to work is they would work like MREs. You know, it gives you just enough nutrition to keep on trucking, and it also makes you constipated. So that way you spend less time in the bathrooms and more time, learning from your unqualified night shift teacher.
Who doesn't actually care.
He does not actually care at all. He's just as miserable as you are. There's no windows, because then that lets you look out and have some hope. They're all they're just they're just bricks. It's brick and mortar on the other end of the window.
All the lights are those really cheap ones that buzz the entire time.
Yeah, the yellow hum buzz lights, and they're flickering. How much worse can it get? I mean, that's already pretty bad. That's unlivable. So if you're living at the school, everyone's just given one. You're not even given sleeping bags. You're literally given a gym. You're given one of those fold out mats that are in every gym. Every student,
shit!
Every
the
student,
things that give you ringworms.
Yeah,
those fucking things.
Yeah, those big fold out blue mats. Every single student lays on one, and you're just all out in the gym together, sleeping there. No ventilation, no fan. People are just snoring and farting and crying.
No air conditioning.
No air conditioning. All the doors shut.
Really can make it worse is if all the vents just pump out just very slight amounts of deadly gas.
Just a little bit. It's enough so that you always feel sick, you always feel lightheaded, but it's not enough to kill you unless you stay in one place for too long. It's you can't loiter. You always got to be on the move. And I think the one thing that would make it even better, the one thing that might even add a little bit of spice and entertainment if you're so sick, is the janitors take on a new role as being tormentors. They're completely clad in black, gowns, black hoods.
Masks.
Yeah, executioner masks, and they're equipped with bamboo canes. And if you step out of line, if you're outside of that classroom at an off hour, if you're using the bathroom and they catch you, you're gonna end up in the nurse's room. You're gonna have just blisters all of your back, and the nurse is gonna put an ice pack on it. She's gonna even worse, no ice packs, no nothing. Every single nurse room encounter, they have horrible scars and scrapes from getting encountered by these janitors. They just pour rubbing alcohol on it.
Straight on and send you back out. They don't even give
Yep.
you a band-aid.
I know, and then they'll take.
Nurses aren't even trained. They don't have their license.
They are not trained. And they take a shot of the rubbing alcohol themselves because they God knows they need it too. Maybe let some animals out in the building.
that one classroom that always has like an actual like animal.
Yeah, but now it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be
release.
some ferocious beasts. They gotta build up like a real mythos in the school. Like some people claim that they saw like a huge rat, but you know it's just like stories. No one really knows. Some kids just disappear. Like bones are just like found. Like you just walk into the bathroom one day, they're just like a femur laying in the corner. No blood, no sign of a struggle. Just a clean picked femur in the corner. Just clothes left about. The lockers are just all strewn about and open.
Sometimes
Garbage.
you see a ceiling tile collapse with a mummified body from a student who tried to escape and got stuck.
Who tried to escape before they figured out that like all the vents are filled with like rotating blades. And it's also the source of the poisonous gas. And all the teachers, you know, they're equipped with cattle prods at the most, but you know, and the loose security guards, they're just trained like SWAT teams. It's like National Guardsmen in their like full loadout, full armor, M4 carbine. If they catch you outside the grounds, like if you're if it's not that 1 minute of free time and you're outside the grounds, you are shot dead. You know, and then after like a year of this experiment, you know, it's like so, hey, Mr. Director of Education, we've been waiting expectantly for the results of your little your little project. We'd like to see how you compare to other states like other states, other countries like Sweden, China. We'd like to see, and it just drops off a cliff, like 0%. Like SAT scores are bottomed out, literally 0 across the board. There is 0 education in America.
That's when schools are finally abolished.
They're finally abolished, but like the tofu industry, like Big Tofu keeps it afloat. You know, and Big TruMoo, you know, the largest lobbyist.
And Big Egg.
Big Egg, all like shelling out tens of billions of dollars.
Just to keep their only actual buyer in business.
So they're going under. Once those public schools are gone, those places are so fucking over. There's no one left on earth who's buying that. Not a soul.
There has to be somewhere that actually like sells TruMoo.
Probably prisons.
I gotta search it up.
Like it's a form of torture. You can't consume this stuff. You know, it's the same thing with like regular food at a school. You know, like the disgusting whole wheat bread that looks like they pulled it out of a dumpster. The pizzas which are all burnt to a crisp, and the second you bite into it, you just feel like you're doing something wrong.
They're just somehow worse than like actual frozen pizza that you can buy in a supermarket.
Yeah, and you know the crazy part is, and I bet all the school food is like marked up. Like I bet it's like more expensive than something they'd find in like a supermarket. It's probably the same way how militaries work, where you know these scumbag contractors get these like military bases to pay $15,000 for like an Air Force like metal coffee mug. You know, just when you work in government like that, you gotta pay $250,000 for the smallest thing. It's probably no different for the schools. I remember it was like a big deal when the schools like got money to replace like a door.
Oh fuck.
So, you know, what did you find in TruMoo? Any investigative work?
Apparently there's a few places that sell it near us. Stop and Shop.
There's zero way a Stop and Shop selling that, like without like threat of death.
The Target by your place apparently sells it.
Yeah, you gotta ask for like the special menu. You know, where like the Target worker, you know, like screens you, make sure you're not a cop, and then he brings you out, like he brings you to the back. He brings you to the Beyond section so you can look at their selection of TruMoo products.
Their slogan is "Kid Harder."
Hopefully harder is in like the organ and not like an order.
Get involved in the TruMoo community. Join us on Facebook.
It's like a picture of like a happy cow mascot pointing looking at like a blender, and the kids are marching in. It just says "Get in." That's the slogan.
273,000 people like this.
Those are bot accounts. Those are the bot accounts that Elon Musk talked about.
Hey, this is supposed to be like a nationwide brand that supplies to like every like school in the country. They only have 200,000 likes on Facebook. That's how you know this shit is fake. There's some evil entity propping this company up.
Well, granted, I don't think people are exactly. Sorry about that. I really gotta like fix this. I need a new microphone. I shouldn't cut out like that. But what I was gonna say is that I don't think people are exactly, jumping out the window to follow TruMoo on any form of social media. Like, even if they were like the top supplier in the world, I don't think people would give. I don't think people would like give a shit. Just, I don't know. Just it's bad milk, bad schools. Hunter Biden should fix it. That's as far as I can go with that.
These pictures, I'm like scrolling through this page. It's just like these people aren't real. It's supposed to be like people all across the country like holding up TruMoo like drinks. And it's like, oh, like proud to be a TruMoo drinker.
Yeah.
Like these have to be like AI generated humans. These aren't real.
Like no one says that about regular food and drinks. Like, okay, like brand loyalty is one thing if it's like clothing or maybe like, like Marvel, like some kind of cinematic universe. But who the fuck has brand loyalty for food and drinks, let alone school supplied ones?
This is so.
You can have a gun. You can have a gun to my head, and TruMoo's asking me like say the lines. Like they hand me the script. I am not saying I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees and admit that I'm a TruMoo fan.
Let us know your guesses and you might take home free TruMoo product coupon. There's 52 comments on this of people trying to get free TruMoo.
You'd be better off like drinking out of a pothole. Probably safer too. But maybe that's just the state of this country. Things are so bad that you have to enter into a contest to win school milk. Like, can you imagine going on a game show and Alex Trebek comes back from the dead and he's hosting like Jeopardy 2 or something? I don't even know, like any one of those like shows where they have like the curtains and you just won like a trip to the Bahamas. And now, like a $200,000 worth in prizes of TruMoo merchandise. And the crowd stops cheering. They stop clapping. Dead silence. There's like crickets. Alex Trebek's sweating. He's tugging on his collar. The TruMoo executives are looking in the doorway with like beating like a billy club in their hands.
Evil, like demonic people that run TruMoo have brought Alex Trebek back from the dead.
Shill their milk on his game show.
Just to show how powerful they truly are.
They've shown their hands.
They brought out the Necronomicon and brought this man back from the dead.
Yeah,
it's partially decrepit. His skin is gray.
Yep.
There's
Welcome
no
back.
blood in his body.
Welcome back to Jeopardy. Today, your selection of what's even the word? It's like your choices today are TruMoo milk brands. Ding. TruMoo milk products. Ding. It just keeps going. And like Jimmy's like, I guess I'll do TruMoo milk products for 500, please. This TruMoo flavor was responsible for the deaths of 5,000 students in 2017. It's like, beep, beep. The answer was, what is all of them?
Those numbers are pretty low, all things considered.
Well, those are the numbers that they only show the public. In reality, it's like, Probably closer to maybe like 350 million.
The entire population.
That's the real cover-up. People have conspiracies about MK Ultra and uh, like flat Earth, cloud seeding, but they're really high in the death number, the excess deaths from school lunches.
The same people that run the TruMoo company like put up like the Georgia Guidestones.
Yeah, like the people who are responsible for like the opioid crisis in this country, like the Sackler family, and just like all these like big pharmaceuticals, like they're actually covering up, like they're like the deaths from opioids is a cover up for the people that have died from TruMoo.
They're all in it. They're all getting funding by this company. The real question is, where is TruMoo making their actual money from?
I don't know, probably from like arms deals and like black projects. Like who knows? They probably have enough money to leave this rock and like leave the galaxy.
Make the TruMoo planet.
The TruMoo galaxy. Like there's those places out there where like supposedly there's entire nebulas that are just filled with
Milk.
well, maybe not milk, but I remember like hearing some crazy shit where there was like some nebulas that had supposedly the type of chemical makeup that would like smell like strawberries or like dumb shit like that. First off, I don't even know how you can like discern that at all. It just has to be like scientists just making shit up.
They just see what they can get away with.
Yeah, they're gonna finally announce that they found the milk galaxy. Instead of us mining asteroids, they're just sending out astronauts to comically fill up buckets of milk and bring it back to Earth. And then everyone's just shocked and appalled. They take the first sip. There's like a crowd watching, like, the astronaut drink out of the bucket. He's like, "This is TruMoo."
And he keels over and dies.
Yeah.
The entire crowd.
Just like eating the brains early. Grabs his stomach, just starts writhing. Everyone's just like in shock. They pity him so much. No one calls an ambulance.
With TruMoo galaxies and all that stuff, how long do you think it will be until companies start naming extraterrestrial bodies
Probably
for advertisements?
It won't be too long. I think there probably will come a point where they'll get like reflectors on the moon, and like companies will fucking like highest bidder will get to put their ad on the surface of the moon for like everyone to see at night for like a month.
I'm not even talking that, because that's like planned already. But how long do you think until like they find galaxies and they'll name it and be like, oh, that's a McDonald's galaxy, and it's just known as that for the rest of time?
Yeah, that's like I think that's like the alphabet nebula. If things go the way they are, then I'm sure that'll happen. And far worse, just in the pursuit of money, just nothing's too scummy. It just dawned on me. I know what the worst lunch food of all time would be. It would be the TruMoo milk, expired TruMoo milk, and cheese puffs that have the cheese personally sucked off of them.
Like pre-digested cheese puffs.
Yeah, like they actually had a guy specifically put the cheese puff in his mouth, lick it, and then once all the cheese was off, he puts like the plastic fake like inedible part back in the fucking jar. That would have to be the worst meal of all time.
Like, they just make the puff without the cheese.
Because it adds the disgusting factor.
Like, every school has to have like several just cheese lickers.
Yeah, and they're like all these like fat, greasy people, like the absolute scum of the earth, and they love their job. They get paid more than the teachers. It's like the only way to keep them like docile.
It's the only way they can afford their own health insurance policy.
I mean, can you think of anything worse than that?
No.
That really has to be the bottom of the barrel. I mean, those foods are already just like disgusting to begin with. I always thought cheese puffs were just the nastiest looking foods. I always thought they felt like plastic in my mouth.
Now you're gonna have one that not only has what little flavor is on it stripped away, but it's gonna be getting like soggier and soggier as the pre-digestive enzymes of this man's saliva break it down while it's on your tray.
And like, if you had the balls to eat it, and like now, like you taste like it tastes like the inside of that guy's mouth. I'd fucking puke.
The schools mysteriously adopt a no waste policy, so if any of the guards see you throw away your food,
It gets recycled in like tomorrow's batch. They're just getting disgusting by the end of the year. There's like the black jar. It's just this inedible mass, and someone has to eat it.
It's a dumpster full of soggy cheese puffs.
Like the intercom comes on, and they will grant freedom to the first student who consumes it. If you were in that situation, if you were trapped in that hell for a year, would you leap at the opportunity to free yourself?
They want you to eat the entire dumpster full?
Not a dumpster full, but it's a single jar of all of the leftover of these puffs for the whole year. The ones that never got eaten and kept getting recycled.
I don't think I can bring myself to do it.
You know, there'd be a handful of kids that would all like fight to the death over it.
That would try.
It's like you'd either have the kids that are so demoralized that they're just fine with their situation now, they'll just live it out, and there's the ones that just they yearn for something more. They know there's a world out there. They've never seen it, but but in reality, freedom just you're put into like a room somewhere, brainwashed. They change your hairstyle, and you come out with a new name. You never leave the system. But at the end of the day, at least the test scores get a little better.
It's like already established that like they bottomed out completely.
Yeah, which I think is an improvement. It's like every student's trapped. Like the workforce is just obliterated. But at least it'd be funny, and I'm sure if you turned it, everything comes full circle too. I'm sure if you turned this into like a reality show, people would watch this. This would be like the most viewed thing on in the world.
It's actual live camera footage from inside the school.
Yeah, you get to see this. Like it's in the fucking girls' bathrooms. It's in the classrooms.
It's immediately what you go to.
It's shock value.
There's cameras in the toilets pointed upwards.
Yeah, in fact, there's like mysteriously never been a single broadcast from the boys' room. They're just all from the girls' bathroom, like up in the toilet. None of the, that's the only toilet like cameras available. There's no other camera angles. It's just there's a high schooler takes a shit and like it hits the camera and it's got like those Japanese like game show like boxes in the corner where it makes like the game host and you'd be like Hashimura and they get like 10 points. They love it. People actually have no idea that it's like a torture experiment. They think that it's just like some random like public bathroom.
They're all fine.
It just goes to show like no matter what you do with it, they'll find a way to monetize it. That people love it. Every aspect of that could be its own show, like the fucking like watching them eat the tofu, like whoever kills them, like whoever like kills the other person and eats like the cheese puffs, the toilet bowls, like the janitors like entering like to the gymnasium at night and like beating people while they try to sleep on those like ringworm mats.
This one student tried to gain his freedom, getting shot to death in the lobby.
He tried to make a break for the door, and like the alarms go off. The National Guardsmen like point red lasers to give 3 warnings, like gun him down. Be a reminder to anyone else who dares rise up.
They don't even give him a burial; they just leave the body out.
No one's ever seen the principal. They just only refer to him as the voice. Even the teachers are afraid. It's like every time the intercom comes on, it can't be good. It's some new challenge or some new punishment.
All the teachers have to be examined thoroughly, both entering and leaving the building.
You are patted down. You have to give like urine samples. You gotta make sure you're not on anything, you're not smuggling anything. Because if like those kids are getting anything like that can even remotely improve their lives, then the experiment's a failure.
Every teacher has a guard sent by the principal to stand in the corner of the classroom at all times to make sure that they aren't like talking with the students.
Yeah, it's like the principal would sometimes like go into the corner of the room and he'd like analyze and like make sure the teacher wasn't like just sleeping all day. It'd be the same thing, but it's just like this mysterious man in black with like a black face mask. He's just writing down things on a notepad very like maliciously, and the teacher's sweating bullets, and teacher accidentally like mispronounces something. It's like the American Revolution. Oh, and she looks over. The guy like shakes his head slowly and
Jots
just
it down.
jots it down. He just gets up and walks out with like his loud ass like shoes. Slams the door. The teacher breaks down because she knows she's gonna get marked. The students like pity wells have all bottomed out. They can't even feel bad because they know that in like an hour's time they're gonna be back to eating those cheese puffs. That's their only food. Like you either get the cheese puffs or once on Thursdays you get the chicken nuggets. Unfortunately, they were also in the guy's mouth until soggy.
They also don't have any breading on them at all. They're just straight up like cut up chicken.
It's also not real meat.
It's tofu nuggets.
It's tofu nuggets that are basted with a tiny bit of like turkey blood. Completely fools your brain.
You just get any chicken flavors.
No.
Turkey.
It's these bloody, soggy little lumps of tofu. And that's your chicken nugget day. Maybe like red alarms buzz and like a real food is dropped in every now and then, and people just race for it like alligators at like the river during like the dry season.
Alligators at a zoo when someone throws like a chicken leg into the water.
It's like an instant mosh pit, gnashing of teeth.
The Thanksgiving meal is a single pigeon.
Found outside. Was half run over by the principal's car. It still has the tire track on it.
The cartoon tire track.
They bring it in. It would be demolished. Anything other than like, because everyone's like so intimate now with the taste of like the food guy. They know what this guy's mouth tastes like, and they can't stand one more day. This guy's going out of his way to eat disgusting foods in his downtime to like make it even worse.
He doesn't brush his teeth at all.
He doesn't brush his teeth. He's chewing tobacco every day. Just like onions, garlic. He just eats whole blocks of cheese.
He's just making it so he can't shit. He's not really doing much his mouth.
Yeah, because that's like also like the one other place where you might have a little bit of like sanity left as a student, the bathrooms. But the whole thing is that they're always locked because they're all single. Like they're all like single bathrooms. They're not like, it's not like a handful of stalls. You only got like one shitter and one sink per bathroom, and these guys are always in them because of their diets.
They can't
And you can audibly hear them like snoring in there. They're hogging it, they're shitting it. No one flushes. Toilets are unusable. It's leaking out the doors. The janitors are too busy beating kids. They're sleeping in there because they're disgusting bastards. They found like the biggest dregs of society to work in this position, this niche little position.
It smells like shit, and they're just calmly sleeping in there.
What a dream job, huh? Can't think of much better than that. Well, that's that's probably about how high school went as far as I remember.
Exactly how I remember it.
Well, more like middle school, because I actually don't remember like a second of middle school. But you know, it would make good entertainment. I'd watch it if that was a show. Could put it on Nat Geo Wild, you know, have that be narrated by Attenborough, maybe. I could see some promotional deals. You know, there's
See here, a group of young men are plotting to overthrow the principal.
little do they
However,
know.
some of the guards have caught wind of their plan.
They'll be sending an agent into the gymnasium to dispose of them silently. And then it just cuts to the camera of the disgusting cheese puff eater guy and like sleeping on the bowl. Just loudly snoring. Camera doesn't go away. Just... And that's the remainder of like the 45-minute special.
The interperiod between class changes. However, one of the cheese eaters did not manage to get back into the safety of the kitchen in time.
Like meerkats.
He is very quickly surrounded by a mob of students.
That would be the end of him.
In just seconds, he is gone.
It's like watching piranhas like,
It's
tear
like
apart a capybara.
It's like one of those like time lapses of like ants eating like a dead lizard.
But
And
it's all in real time.
It's all in real time. That sped up footage from like 5 seconds. The skeleton happens instantly. Even his bones are like taken away. They're like hidden away, sharpened into shivs. You take what you can get.
From this day forward, the cheese eaters were never allowed to leave the safety of the cafeteria.
To leave the safety of the nest. Because like as like this one guy's getting brutalized, he's like screaming out, and all the other cheese eaters are like poking their heads up, their ears are flaring, they're all like making like distress calls. They're herded around one another.
They're meerkats.
Yeah, like they're all poking out their holes.
They're standing up with their necks as high as they can get them, looking around.
So they're not living like their super lavish lifestyles of pure gluttony and sin. They're scared out of their lives when the door's open.
They
I think
know that they can be taken out too.
I think the only thing that would make this whole situation funnier would be if this was like some Squid Game horseshit. Where, like the second like the periods change and you have to like go to your next class, like the gunman would just open fire on anybody in the hallways.
They're supposed to get to your next class then.
You gotta be damn fast.
Fucking asshole.
This was like laser dots all over the hallways. Step out of line. That's it. You gotta pretend to be a dead body and then crawl to like upstairs.
School's gonna be empty within like a week's time.
That's fine. There's always more kids. TruMoo cloning project is safely continuing. Because, you know, like the Dolly Sheep project, like that was actually like a TruMoo initiative.
I forgot about that.
Eventually they brought it onto humans so they can get an infinite amount of kids so that there'll never be a shortage of like milk. Like milk drinkers. Well, I don't know if we have anything else to add. I think we did pretty good.
Man, I don't know if I can talk about that.
Yeah, I was joking good on my underwear. The flap was just wrapped around.
The end of it was looking like a big piece of dough that you rubbed between your hands. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, are you glad you ended this all off with that?
Oh yeah.
Just what the people wanted. Ugh. Oh, I mean, yeah, you ready to call it?
Yeah.
Okay, stop.